a hand. Ha!
You can't rush temporary.
We're building a 1960s supercar inspired by vehicles like the Lamborghini Miura and the Ford GT40. We're going to start with a first generation BOXSTER chassis, install a Ford 5-liter engine.
Last week, we made a rear subframe that relocated suspension further back and up higher into the chassis. And this week, we're gonna move the strut towers to match that.
All right, so to start off with, the strut tower is here. We need it to be here. So all this stuff needs to come out of the way.
I'm good.
And he needs to come out of the way too. That explains why he was so interested in filming.
So we're taking a BOXSTER we already cut up, and we're cutting it up significantly more.
Yeah.
I love it. Bad.
We cut off what we didn't need, but we realized we don't need more.
So we're cutting off more.
Are you ready, Ryan?
I'm underneath it, so if it's going anywhere, it's going on top of me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, save
Look
it.
at those pasty white thighs.
There it is.
It's a little hefty.
Hefty, hefty, hefty. Got it?
Yep.
All right.
What if I hit the bodywork? Oh no! Oh no!
It's coming out of your paycheck.
Oh no! Flip
One
your
thing
back
at a time.
in a sharp,
You need a
jerking,
hand.
twisting
You got
motion.
Yeah, that should be fine. The drip of like coating. Not question.
In case there's any question, you know, I gotta put next. It's like it's a woodworking project. That's Monday. This is some junkyard stuff.
Yep.
Wow.
There it is.
Slap it on the grill, got the hindquarters off. So now there's a lot of room for activities, although we need to make some more.
I don't think we need more.
Right here we do.
Well, we need to move this.
Yeah.
So the question is, do we just fab a whole new box or cut this box out and move it?
Well, that box ties in the whole way down here.
Yep.
So we'd have to use that whole piece probably for it to like, well, maybe not. Depends on how we're gonna tie it in. I mean, we plan to probably use tube to reinforce things.
Right.
I think we should reuse what's there because we know it fits nicely. Like
Yep.
why re-engineer
Right,
that?
right. I'm with you.
We can just put plate in the sides of it and then have that plate mount to the tube. Yeah.
It might not be where we want it. So I mean, we could, you know, if we cut it out, we could cut it off right here,
Let's go straight across.
straight across here. Yep, because then you're above where this ties it, which I don't know that this gets.
I can see
retained.
spot welds here.
Right. Yep. So above
So
the
it's
spot
just
welds.
above the spot welds. Can we do a bit that's like, oh, this is too much work to remove this light. So we're taking the light off instead of cutting it in half because apparently we might need it and it's wasteful and Ryan is just immature. I helped.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think we cut this back here, we're gonna lose rigidity anyway, so.
There you go. It's sound ending.
That was exhilarating.
Across.
I want to cut through the stud. Look here, look, you just, that's fine. See, I didn't do anything.
All right, now that we got this cut out of here and can see what we're after, we know we want to move this back the same distance as we moved the other suspension pickup points. So this has to come back 120 millimeters and up 1.5 inches. To make sure we put that, what?
I like how it's millimeters and then inches.
Correct. Well, you know why?
Why?
Because this was designed in metric, but the wheels, what size wheels do we have?
Ah, they're standard.
Yeah, right. So
I hate it here.
About approximately 38 millimeters up, 120 millimeters back. To make sure that we get that exactly where we want it, we want access to both of these strut towers at once, so we have good measuring points and can confirm that we're doing it in exactly the right location. So to do that, we got to cut the rest of this out. Ryan?
That's a lot of words to say. Yeah, we gotta cut this out.
Yeah. Just a reminder, the strut wasn't in here on this side when we cut it out, so you've got one more thing to be conscious of.
Uh-huh. Listen, it's Monday, all right? I mean, it also could be Wednesday and I'd be getting the same reaction, so.
All right.
Let's cut it. Look at that, not a scratch on the strut tower.
So we welded in this temporary support is going to allow us to measure off of because we squared it up to the car. And then it's also going to allow us to tie in our new shock tower with the chassis in a way that we can later come in and put more permanent supports in. You can't rush temporary. And next we need to cut this out of the way so it's not in the way.
Uh-huh.
Made a pattern of that side, top right front. We just flipped it over and confirmed. And it's exactly the same as top left.
Got our CAD work done. Look at that. There it is. That's the man. Remember, kids, Safety squints. Blocking the arc for me. I made an oopsie. It's not a big oopsie, but these sides are gonna flip flat, right? So that means that to cap this side, piece has to be wide enough to make that end.
Right.
I forgot to add the half inch there. And that's because we changed this distance entirely, and I forgot to adjust the piece.
That distance never changed.
No, it did. Because the piece used to
It
be
was always
longer.
supposed to be 1.5 inches.
Well, no, we changed this distance here, which actually makes it even worse than what it was before. Either way, this is supposed to go like that and fill space, and yeah, that's not gonna. That's
standard measurement things kind of throw Ryan
It's all the
off.
standard stuff.
If it had only been a 1/2 millimeter off instead of a 1/2 inch, he'd have been fine.
Exactly. So Tony would be a normal person who used freaking metric calipers instead of standard.
It's a V8 thing.
It's a V8 thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So I fixed the file. Don't worry. It literally took me a minute to fix, and then probably like 7 minutes to drink my iced coffee while I waited for it to. Well, I waited to put it into the machine. Playing Angry Birds. Yahoo! Yahoo! Look at that. That's a clean cut. That was the back side. Look at that. No slag McGee. Yeah, that looks a little better. Yeah, that's correct. What do we do with these circles? Don't tell Tony. This rear vertical panel here is all in the way. I'm just gonna cut it out while I wait for Tony to finish drilling some holes. Then I can stop. I already cut myself on this edge on both sides like 3 times, and I'm tired of it. I didn't think it was gonna like release that quickly. Final cut. That's a lot better. Now there's like a table there. So I cut out these strut top plates to replicate what's here, but way thicker, so it's more reinforced because we're not doing a unibody. We're gonna do tube work in the back. And then we came up with a great idea to relocate them.
We're gonna weld this on here to make a jig out of this. Our box plates are gonna be the exact distance that we want to raise this to match that. So when we set our box plate on here, it will automatically just set it where we want it.
Yeah, so we can literally take this entire assembly, unbolt it, move it back, let it locate itself, and then we'll be able to build supports to it.
We like things that locate themselves, so we don't have to do it.
Yeah, we took a while, or it took a lot of brain power to figure out how to make it locate itself.
Right, yeah.
But this will ensure that it is the most accurate as possible without having like, a frame jig and lasers and stuff. So this is a good DIY way to do it. And it'll make more sense as we do it. It's gonna be.
I love shots.
See how close he was. Wow, Tony was within 1 degree. 0.1 degree.
0.1 degree.
0.1 degree, which is, again, I'm sure that has a tolerance that's. Yeah. That could be 0. I'm gonna skip it. Right. We're doing it. There you go. Look at that. Now if I drop it on the floor, it won't work.
It'll be completely messed up, yeah.
Moving day. This sounds like the GTA song. So I welded the outside and didn't quite gap the panels as much as I thought I needed to. The plate's very thick. The plate's 3/16 inches thick, which is, you know, pretty beefy. And I weld sheet metal. It's usually 19 gauge on this channel 99.9% of the time. So to be extra safe, I welded the inside as well to make sure we had full penetration, because there were spots that needed just a little bit more penetration, so this should be good now.
We're just trying to get an idea where we have to chop this off.
Classic Tony moments.
What in the world does that say? The twos are upside down.
No, that's how I make my twos.
Upside down?
That's how I make my twos. You're obtuse.
It looks like 2.201.
You know what? You look like an old man.
Both are correct. Would have been efficient.
You need to stop taking caps and putting them on the ground. Every marker I give you,
All right.
or you pick up, you do that.
Yeah. All right. So
I'm coming at it.
That's center. Yeah, you're in a mood. All right.
I'm in a mood. It's true.
So let.
I'm a little grumpy.
Technically, our measurements here should be the same.
Technically, they should be the same.
Yeah.
This is the moment of truth. You could have like some serious music going on. Dun, dun, dun,
Are you on?
Dun, dun, dun. I'm on. I mean, this is like
Well, don't drop it. No, why are you pushing it down there?
I'm pushing it down on the 10.
102 instead of 102.2.
Oh, we're 0.2 millimeters off, which is
Well,
funny because the plate's really thick, so it's probably the thickness of the plate throwing it off. 61.
Because it was 102, not this time, not 102.2.
C for center. And this is M for middle.
That's not cool.
What happened? I knew it was gonna happen eventually.
It broke off.
I mean, that blade, as I was saying earlier, has been through it. It was at like a 30-degree angle. You look like a surgeon just removed something from someone's rectum and is like...
Rectum?
Damn near killed. Yeah. Ah! Yeah, that one's much deeper.
Okay.
You sounded like...
Yoda?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Yep.
I mean, again, I'm no chassis expert, but I feel like...
I'm not asking you.
Is that a hammer? That's carb cleaner. You should have sprayed on the actual weld. It would have been funny.
I don't have, hold on, I don't have my safety glasses on.
All right, now I can blast in the face.
There you go.
Ready?
Yep.
All right, everyone look in the arc.
Yep. So, wow, that's still warm.
I thought you were going, wow, this looks really cool.
Wow, that's still warm. And it looks really cool. So we've got some shock towers in place with some temporary supports here. And we believe this, since it's so well welded in, is going to be permanent. The rest of the support will be added later when we know more about where our body's gonna be.
Yeah, so our body shape's gonna kind of define like the roll bar, which is how we're gonna tie a lot of this together to kind of like bring it back and be structurally sound. Like this piece is gonna get lopped off.
Will be gone.
This piece is gonna get lopped off.
This piece is gonna get lopped off.
Yeah, it's just there for location right now. So don't mind how ugly it looks. It's not staying.
This will allow us to put the suspension on, see how everything fits, set it on the ground, and then we can do finished stuff later.
Yeah. So to do all that, let's put the suspension on.
Yeah, that's next.
For chow. So I am making some room here so that we can put the suspension in the car.
Right, that's the part we're doing.
Well, step one is make some room here because y'all are slobs. It's funny because I'm the slob.
Ryan's gonna put the old subframe on that side and bolt the strut up to the old strut tower. I'm gonna put the new subframe on this side and bolt up to the new strut tower. And then we're gonna see how it looks.
Take a hand. Ha! What a dummy.
Oh, is this gonna fit? We didn't even.
It probably needs dremeled.
Yep.
Which is fine, because we
let's put
way
this up in
over
here.
toleranced it. Yeah.
You stupid thing.
This is why I can't nice things.
Go ahead.
He said it, not me. Stop. It's in the edge. I think it's in the edge right here.
Yep.
You love to see it. That feels like overkill, but. Style. Center crest is a little different, but it's possible. Is that hard for you? Listen. Fucking macho man. Do you want the ratcheting one?
I did, but
I think that was a great idea.
because you're a slacker. Okay. All right, so we got our rear subframes back on. This one is farther back and farther up into the car, which will lower it. And we made our little temporary extension here because we haven't finished that part of the suspension yet.
But Tony, why are we going through all the steps of raising the subframe, which took days of work, instead of just lowering the coilover some more, like everyone else does?
When you just lower it with the coilover, you change the suspension geometry, and we were lowering it a lot. So by doing this, we have not changed any of the suspension geometry. We just brought the car down.
Yeah. I think a goal with suspension is to make sure your control arm doesn't go past the level. Right. And it's like at resting. And
that's
a lot
the
of
way it's
times,
designed.
cars that
Yep.
are really low go past that and you lose a ton of stability.
Right. Yep. All your angles change. So everything that's supposed to happen when you're moving is now happening when you're straight.
Thanks, Tony. You'll also notice on this side of the subframe, we did not finish welding everything yet. In fact, there's a lot to still weld, like the entire other side.
Everything.
And these mounting tabs are also really long because we want to leave some meat behind, because what we're gonna end up having to do is triangulate it across to the other side subframe, and we wanted to have whatever we need here to then cut a little shorter or box in or however. We haven't figured out that yet. But these have to be attached to each other, otherwise they're gonna go whoop!
We gave ourselves plenty of room for activities.
Yeah, and to put the car down right now anyway, there's no engine in it and it's really light, we probably should still do something. So maybe we'll like put a ratchet strap across it or something, keep it from spreading.
Yeah, we gotta tie these two sides together just to make
put
sure.
it right here maybe. I think we've officially totaled this car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. That's right, I'll just help you. I'll help you help yourself.
We're gonna need lug bolts too.
That's some bull. There you
Take that
go.
wheel off and put the other one on. I mean, you're just now getting this on.
Look at my hands. Are they impacts? If they make bionic hands that are like the Deus Ex hands from that game, I would definitely cut off my own arm for that. It's like doing Cayenne wheels.
Yep.
That's why I hate doing brake services in Cayennes. We gotta cut this wheel arch some because when this goes down, it's gonna hit it. I'm pretty sure, since we know. Lowered the car 1.5 inches on this side. Topping the already lowered coilover suspension. They say, what? You chose to be there.
There's a gusset and braces that bolt to the bottom of this to support the bottom of this, keep it from moving. And whenever you set the car down on the ground, you want to support that. So we don't have anything that will bolt between these two pieces yet, and we never will because we're going to replace this with something else. So in the meantime, we're going to put a ratchet strap across there just so this can't flex out when we set the car down.
Like that, or more?
Give it another click. There you go. Now it's not going anywhere. It pulled the wheel in.
That's not going anywhere.
Toby.
It's nice to be able to actually turn the wheels again.
Yeah.
That rolls pretty good. So that tow must be pretty decent. We did it. We have proof of concept. The passenger side with the Panamera wheel is still keeping the car level as opposed to the driver's side that has the BOXSTER wheel, which is significantly smaller. You can even tell too because the control arms and tow arms in the back are still level to the ground. So we just proved that we did indeed move the suspension correctly. And now we can do the other side.
Yep. Well, and the other thing that we did was we made this wheelbase much longer.
Correct.
So you can see that there's a lot of space.
I can fit my head in there, I bet.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably could.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, do it.
And just like.
You can put your head in this side.
Look,
oh, easily.
I can put my head in this side, right?
Yeah.
So we have proof, right? Now the other side, I guarantee you I cannot. That's gonna have to dilate a little bit more before I can go through.
That's why we did it, so Ryan could fit his head in there.
Yeah, that's the main reason.
That was the reason.
Now, on top of all that, you know, the benefits of a longer wheelbase and lower center of gravity with correct suspension geometry, we can fit the 302 and transmission in there as well without having to cut into the firewall, which is the other advantage here and the main reason we did this in the first place. Right?
Yep.
I will also add as well, you'll notice that the front of the car is significantly lower than the back of the car. That's because there's no weight in the back of the car right now. We have no engine, no transmission, no exhaust. Most of the body is missing. There's no convertible top on it. These coilovers were set to keep the car level with all of the factory components in the vehicle. So it's not, you know.
And we're not there yet.
Yeah, you can squish it a little bit.
There you go.
I don't want to like mess, it's still kind of jigged here, so I don't want to like mess with our math yet, but that's the other final thing as well. We still gotta like, basically we're doing this right now to figure out our body as well. Once we figure out our body design and how it's gonna flow around, we can then make our roll bar and the associated bracing to go to the strut tops and everything else in the back of the car that will fit within the bounds of the new body. So that's coming soon too.
We still have a lot to do with this side of suspension. We still have to deal with the trailing arm and its pivot point. We also have to deal with how we support the bottom of the suspension like we talked about, and then we have to mirror it all on that side. Then we'll get into mounting our engine and transmission in here, which was the whole point in the first place.
Yeah. This is not gonna be a trailer queen. We're not just doing this so we can make a body. We're doing this so we can actually drive this at speed and have fun with it and have a stable and reliable vehicle that not only looks cool, but also can handle abuse.
Abuse, he says.
Donuts. There's gonna be donuts. That's a promise. Tony's like, wait. Well, we'll do donut, at least when we have the engine running without the body on it, right? We have to do donuts.
I mean, I want to.
Also, on top of all of that, we just hit over 50,000 subscribers on the channel. That's thanks to you guys. That's 50,000 people who are enjoying our content, I think. At least they're watching us to see us fail, or they're enjoying it. I don't know. I don't really care. There's 50,000 of you guys.
I appreciate it either way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we're gonna do something special in our next video. You just have to find out what that is when you come back
in the next video.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next Saturday.